everybody, and thank you for coming to our last virtual town hall of 2020. We would like to thank all of our judges and general magistrates for attending tonight, and to all of our new members, we welcome you into the First Family Law American Inn of Court. I'd like to remind everyone that tonight's event is being recorded, so if you're uncomfortable with that in any way, please make sure to turn off your camera. It's hard to believe that it was only January 2020 of this year that we had our very first town hall in the courthouse unveiling the brand new court map technology. Thanks to Judge Bernstein's leadership and vision, we were ready for the changes that rapidly hit when the pandemic began. And now, here we are. Before we begin, we have a few announcements and reminders. First, thank you to everyone who has contributed to the 25th annual turkey drive so far. To our new members, each year we collect funds to donate gift cards and turkey dinners to needy families and victims of domestic violence over the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat in a few minutes if you'd like to donate. Second, we're very excited to bring back the Inn of Court team structure. So next Tuesday at 5 p.m., all the teams will be meeting for the first time. Thank you very much to Karen Weintraub and Anna, who led a team meeting yesterday. And all you have to do to participate next week to be on a team is click the link in your calendar, and we will go ahead and put you into breakout rooms. This will be an opportunity to meet each other for the first time, to mentor and be mentored, and to develop topics for the coming year. And we welcome our judges and general magistrates to attend that session. And so next, I'd like to welcome two speakers before we begin. First, I'd like to welcome our social chair, Francia Cabral. Is she on the line? Okay,
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Francia. Okay, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So we, because we can't have an in-person holiday party this year, we've decided to have a virtual event, which we're excited about. Our virtual holiday party will take place on December 9th, and we will be doing we will have a demonstration by the executive chef and the chief mixologist of a local restaurant. They will be teaching us how to prepare a cocktail and an appetizer. We're also looking forward to some fun contests and games. One of them will be to find the best legal name for the cocktail that we're putting together. And the other one will be a funny apron contest. So we have another surprise in store for you guys, but we'll save that for the day of the party. We hope that everybody will attend, and we're really looking forward to this being our last event of the year.
Thank you, Francia, and great job as social chair, and to the entire social committee that has been working hard to come up with something innovative and fun that we can do virtually. And next, before we begin, it's an honor to have as our special guest tonight, the Executive Director of GAID Legal Aid, Karen Lattis. Karen?
Okay. I thought I talked so loud, maybe I don't need to unmute myself, according to my family. Anyway, greetings, your honors. Colleagues and friends. I'm Karen Lattis. I'm the Executive Director of Legal Aid. And prior to stepping into that role, I was the coordinator for Put Something Back Pro Bono program. So I'm very familiar with the way that the Pro Bono Guardian ad litem referrals are handled. Put Something Back exclusively refers Pro Bono GAL referrals for low-income families in family law and domestic violence cases. The judges and/or your JAs contact Put Something Back directly to receive expedited services whenever a GAL is needed. Put Something Back, we're very happy to announce everything's online. So there's a place to go online, and there's a platform that's designed just for the courts to gain access to pro bono GAL volunteers. And we're very happy that that's in place now. Upon receipt of the request from the courts, our staff prioritizes these cases, and our goal is to place each GAL case within 24 to 48 hours. So that's a pretty good turnaround. So upon referral, when the pro bono GAL gets a case from Dade Legal Aid and puts something back, we offer them mentorship by one of our seasoned staff attorneys or by a pro bono volunteer lawyer. We do provide extensive training materials and support. We also have a top 10 frequently asked questions, which we give to the newbies. The attorneys who accept the cases receive malpractice coverage through Put Something Back and a variety of other benefits. Currently, we have just about 400 lawyers who are willing to take cases, and we only have 120 open cases at the moment, and one case pending referral. So that means that, well, you do the math, we can still accept more pro bono GALs if you have a need for a low-income family. So far this year, pro bono GALs through Put Something Back have completed 28 cases and provided 360 hours of service combined. The needs keep growing, our volunteer base keeps growing, and we're here for you. And we are also having a nuts and bolts of divorce family law seminar on December 4th. And please come and meet the new judges, and please come and learn from some of the top practitioners in town. That's on the website, Dade Legal Aid. And this spring, by the way, the seminars are free. You just have to agree to take a case or be a GAL. And this spring, we are really hopeful that we will be able to have our annual, maybe it's our 38th annual View from the Bench, which is the premier seminar that we do every year with the courts. If you have any questions, you can call me directly or email psb@dadelegalaid.org, and I'll provide all the information and the links to the judiciary shortly or through Amber Cornlight. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you do for the community. And I was very touched, by the way, yesterday too. So thank you for everything that you are all doing and continue to do to make the situations easier for the clients that we see. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, so much for joining us and for being our special guest tonight.
Thank you.
Without further ado, I hand it to Ms. Anna Martin-Lavielle and Judge Bernstein.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be back again in our forum that Amber has been able to provide for us for all of these months. Karen, it's so great to see you again. And you came on the exact perfect day, and I'll tell you why. Judge Bernstein and I are required by our president to make sure that we have an agenda and that we have fully thought through this town hall. It just doesn't happen that we jump on, because our president likes to make sure that we are presenting the kind of quality and information to all of you that is relevant and that you like. So when we were planning this meeting, we decided we were going to talk about GALs. So Karen, what a great day for you. It's always great to see you, but today was a perfect day to see you. So Judge Bernstein and I, following up on this and to assist Karen, have had a couple of thoughts about this. One was we're going to reach out to the INS members to make sure that you joined Karen's team of GALs, and to assist you in doing that, because we think that sometimes that could be a rather ominous task. Judge Bernstein and I are going to, in the new year, put on a program to assist you and give you the groundwork for becoming a GAL. So thank you so much, Judge Bernstein, who is really, really always giving to the IN, to the families, and to the attorneys. So thank you. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be calling you, Karen, to coordinate all of that with you to make sure that you continue to have sufficient resources to meet the needs of the family. So now you know that our town hall today is the topic of GALs: when, who, why, and how. So we're going to begin with Judge Bernstein talking to us about his perspective, as we always do. If you know, because you've been at the prior town halls, you know that what we do is we start with his wisdom and get the wisdom of the other judges and GMs along the way. I'll be calling on you to give us different perspectives. Everyone will do it shortly so that everyone has an opportunity to hear from the bench. But before we start, we'd like to recognize the fact that we have a couple of our incoming judges on this Zoom, and we'd like for you to please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you so that you start becoming already a part of our in-family. Judge De Raimundo, would you like to go first, please?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm Christina Di Raimundo. I'm currently sitting in the criminal division, and before that, I sat in the civil division for 2 years of county court, and I'm really excited to come over to the family division and work with all of you.
Thank you so much. Could we hear from Judge Silver? Because I also saw that he was on the line.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see everybody. Popped on there for a minute. I'm currently in the civil division. Hopefully you can hear me all right. So I was just moving. And before that, I was in the criminal division. And I guess before that, the dependency division, where we dealt with a little bit of family issues. So looking forward to coming over to family. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Happy to answer any questions if anyone has it. And thanks for having me out here today.
Thank you very much, Judge Silver. Welcome also. And I think we also have Judge Kolokov on the Zoom. And if
Judge Susan, I think.
We have Judge Susan, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
okay.
coming to family.
Good. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
There you are. Okay, thank you. I hadn't seen you when I scrolled through. So thanks.
No worries. My name's Laura Stuzen. I'm a mom to 2 teenage boys, and I am currently in the dependency division. I've been there 3 years. It's been an amazing experience. I think it'll make my transition to family a little easier. And prior to that, I was a county court judge in both the criminal divisions as well as the civil division.
So you come to us with a very well-rounded background of many things that you will find very useful, because as Judge Bernstein is teaching you, there's a lot to be learned in family court and a lot of aspects of the law that we have to deal with. Right, Judge Carlin? All right. Did I miss any of the?
Yes.
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 Did I miss any of the incoming judges? Because I have a screen and I don't see all of you at the same time. So Judge Young, did I miss anybody?
I'm looking right now.
Thank you. He guided me through law school. It's only right that he guides me through these Zoom town halls, you know? Are we good? Thank you. All right, then without further ado, because we have a lot to cover and we have something that we need you to stay on at the very end for, which will be very special. So Judge Bernstein, who can be a guardian? Why do we need a guardian? When do we need a guardian? And what should a guardian do and know? It wasn't a compound question.
So thank you, everybody, and I'm so happy to see all of you. I love doing these INS meetings, and I get to see people that I haven't seen in an awfully long time. So I think that I speak for all of the judges who either now sit or have sat in the family division by saying that we could not do our jobs properly without guardians at Litem. They play an essential role in virtually everything we do in a case involving children. Since we have so many judges who previously sat in the dependency division or who are coming to us directly from the dependency division, I thought I'd start by just describing a little bit of the difference between what guardians do in the dependency court versus what guardians do in family court. In dependency court, the role of the guardian is primarily to ensure that the Department of Children and Families or the assigned agency is actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. When a judge orders that a child receive counseling or go to school or get shots or what have you, the guardian has to follow up and make sure that they did what the judge ordered. And there are opportunities for the guardian to make suggestions about what the child needs and what's in the child's best interest. But the role is primarily an enforcement role. That's very different in family court. In family court, the role of a guardian is primarily an investigative role. The judges are not allowed to speak to the teachers, the principals, the doctors, the neighbors, the friends, the other family members to determine what's going on with the child. And that's what a guardian ad litem does. And primarily, lawyers serve as guardians ad litem, although we have some cases where mental health professionals serve as guardians ad litem. And then we have a very, very few cadre of people who are both lawyers and mental health professionals. And we like to save those for our very special cases. In the dependency court, any citizen can be a guardian ad litem as long as you go through a week-long training program. And it's a pretty intensive week-long training program, but a lay person can be a guardian. That is not true in family court. You have to be a lawyer or a mental health professional. Also, unlike dependency court, we don't have a formal program for training people how to be guardians. That's why I'm so grateful to Karen Lattis and so grateful to Dade Legal Aid and Put Something Back for doing these training programs, primarily for lawyers, so that they know what they're doing when we come into court. And I can tell you, I had a hearing earlier this week with a Put Something Back guardian who came from a very large commercial firm. And, you know, I'm used to seeing guardian ad litem reports that are 10, 15 pages long with details and everything. This report came with charts and graphs, and it was 100 pages long, and it had extensive attachments. I mean, it was the most thorough report I have ever seen. And I am so grateful to this particular pro bono guardian. I could never have gotten that full a picture of what was going on this child's life without the work of this guardian. So good job, Karen, in getting big firm lawyers to volunteer for this duty, as well as solo practitioners and small family lawyers to do it. It's great having this wealth of experience come in. And when you have a lawyer who has a commercial background or a real estate background, they volunteer to do these cases because they really want to make a difference in the life of a child. And they do an incredible job, really an incredible job. And sometimes their very background really comes in handy on these cases, because as the judges in the family division know, you never know what's going to come up in a family case. When you need to know real estate law or commercial litigation or bankruptcy or criminal procedure, and having folks that have that different background can really help us a lot. So that takes care of who can be a guardian and sort of what they're for. The big issue, and I really want to hear from a lot of you tonight, is about when you need guardians. Because of course, in a perfect world, we would have a guardian ad litem for every child in every case. Well, we don't live in a perfect world, so we make do with what we have and we do the best that we can. But there are certain essential cases where we really rely on a guardian ad litem. And I'm going to suggest 3 cases where I feel it is essential to have a guardian ad litem, if at all possible. The first would be any case where a child is going to testify on an issue, whether it's a domestic violence issue or a factual issue regarding time sharing or parental responsibility. We get a lot of cases where one parent will say, I want the child to testify. That doesn't mean the child is going to testify. But anytime you consider whether or not a child needs to testify in court, I would suggest you better appoint a guardian ad litem to determine whether it's in the best interest of that child to be put in the middle of that child's parent's divorce case or paternity case. The second kind of case where I think it's really important to have a guardian ad litem is a relocation case. And these in the past have posed a certain limitation on guardians because sometimes parents have already relocated or they're planning to go to a place that's very far away. And how does the guardian, much less the court, look at the new home that's proposed for the child and look at the new school and the new location and what's going on? But with Zoom technology, it's relatively easy to do now and much less expensive. So guardians are able to do a virtual home tour or a neighborhood tour. I've seen them done all over the country at this point, and it makes it much less of a burden to do. So I would think the second category would be relocations. And the third category, it's sort of a combined category. I felt I was limited to 3, but so I crammed a lot into the third one. And it's cases with either domestic violence, substance abuse, or mental health issues. When those are important issues in the case, and I mean mental health, substance abuse, or domestic violence involving the child or involving the parents. If those special issues come up, I think that it's pretty crucial to get a guardian ad litem. And given the fact that 80% of our cases have a pro se litigant, that's an awful lot of cases. You can see the need for both pro bono and low bono guardians ad litem. By the way, I'm going to ask a favor of the judges and of the members of the Inns of Court. If your client is not indigent, but is still struggling financially, my request is that you ask for a low bono, not a pro bono guardian. And let's save the truly pro bono for the truly indigent, because we don't have enough to go around. There are some people out there who are willing to take on a case for a very reduced hourly rate. And for folks who are able to pay something, let's get those people involved as guardians.
Thank you, Judge Bernstein. Now, let's ask some of the other judges what your positions are on the 3 categories that Judge Bernstein has gone over. Judge Verdi, would you like to speak first? You're going to have to unmute yourself.
Okay, so Scott said everything I was going to say. So that leaves me with, here's what follows. I do agree that those are the 3 categories that you must have a guardian. The problem I encounter with those cases is mostly finances. Because if I have lawyers in front of me, I know they're not indigent because they can pay their lawyers. But then the problem becomes they might not be able to pay the lawyer and the guardian, and you're going to get some resistance from your client as to why you need a guardian. A lot of times I'll have a motion to appoint a guardian ad litem and the other side is opposed. I have a perfect case for it and I'm trying to figure out, well, initially I was trying to figure out why they would be opposed, and it was always the same thing: finances. We can't afford one. So I resolved that in 2 ways. I like to explain to the litigant that without the appointment of a guardian, I would need to hear from all the witnesses. There's no other way. There has to be a guardian, and I'd like to say there has to be a waiver of hearsay in the order. That's a must. Otherwise, why appoint a guardian? So we have a very good order that we use that specifically says that hearsay is waived. Something else and when I tell the litigant that, I say, it's going to be so much more costly to bring all these people in for depositions and for testimony, billable hours. So it makes sense to hire a guardian. It might even save you some money. Secondly, I can appoint a guardian for limited purposes. I just did that on a case where the issue was, it was temporary custody. The parents had died. I had an aunt who wanted to have custody of the child. I don't know if it's child trafficking. I don't know if this person can have a child. So I appointed her for a home study to interview the siblings, to interview the child, the teachers, and some other limited things. So it wasn't an all-encompassing appointment. And it was very directed at the things I wanted to do. She was able to complete everything on Zoom, and it ended up being not costly at all. So those are the considerations that I have when I appoint a guardian, that there has to be a waiver of hearsay, otherwise it's, again, useless. And when the issue is funds, sometimes the lawyers and I can actually talk about exactly what it is that we need, and sometimes limit the investigation of the guardian to those things. There is one thing I wanted to add, just one thing. This is a recurring problem. I've had it happen at least 3 times where the guardian oversteps their investigative duties and starts to tell the parties, you shouldn't do this, or maybe we'll extend time sharing, and that's my role. And then once that happens, if I get a motion to disqualify the guardian, I have to, because they're no longer doing just their job, they've overstepped their boundaries. So that's something to remember, consider, and always have in mind.
Thank you, Judge Verdi, so much. But if we hear from another courthouse and Judge Dimitris tells us how it works in your world.
Well, in my world, I handle dependency, delinquency, domestic violence, and also the family cases, but only when they are all somehow involved, or multiple categories. The challenge that we face mostly is that by the time a case comes to me, ironically and unfortunately, it has already been in front of at least 1, if not 2 or 3 other judges. And so it gets transferred to me to get us to that model of 1 judge, 1 family. And yet that model's already disrupted just by me getting that appointment. So unfortunately, oftentimes when a case comes to me, I know the least about the facts of the case. I know less than any of the other parties in the case. So a guardian is often essential to me to bring up a lot of those facts. And a guardian on a family case is also, like Judge Verdi said, I think very well, that it saves everybody a lot of energy. Because one thing I really dislike doing is having to rehear some factual issues that have already been discussed in another hearing, because that just costs money and time and is difficult on the parties. So sometimes the guardian who comes with the case to me can actually give me a good update on some of the facts and really save the parties money. And most people don't see that coming, that appointing a guardian is going to save them money. Most parties seem resistant to it up front because they see another bill coming in. Oftentimes that's a bill that takes away from their bill. So it can displace those things. So I think Judge Verdi's point is the one that I would like to emphasize, that a guardian can not only be effective at reducing the time of the issue before the court, but it can reduce a lot of the emotions because things don't have to get relitigated. It can reduce a lot of the costs, and it can really do a good job of fairly summarizing a lot of issues before the court, particularly when it gets transferred to me. I always want to hear everybody's advice on this, and I'm always willing to hear from the parties to hear what they think of the value of a guardian's assistance in a particular case.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing with us. It's a unique role, the one that you play. Judge Young, do you want to share with us your perspectives on guardian ad litem based on what Judge Bernstein introduced us to and Judge Verdi has said?
You think I'm going to agree with anything Judge Bernstein said? No, not at the word. No, kidding.
You're going to have to make extra dinner tonight then.
It's already cooking. Thank you very much. I'm a very good house husband. I love appointing, first of all, Karen, thank you very much for what you do, what your organization does. We couldn't do, as everyone has said, our job as well as we do without your program. So my hat's off to you. And I just love you and love the job and love your family. So thank you very much. I use a guardian for other reasons too. When I see that you have a mom and a dad, or a mom and a mom as I had, or a dad and a dad who hate each other more than they love the child, it's a perfect time to appoint a guardian, because a guardian will come in and give me a fair assessment of what is actually going on. And is there alienation going on? Is there abuse going on? They get a chance to speak to the child and the parents to assess the situation. And I always like to think in my mind, my guardians are good bulk sugar honey iced tea artist detectors. Because when people appear in front of us, oh, they're in their good behavior and yada, yada, yada. They get out and all of a sudden hell breaks loose. And the guardian is there and the guardian can say, Judge Young, after the court was over, as happened today, thank you, Cindi Kamen, who was my guardian in my case. This is what happened after we left court, Zoom court. And you get a feel. And I said to the couple today, I said, listen, if you two don't get together for your child who has some addiction issues and psychological issues, you're going to end up going to the cemetery every day on his birthday and crying and saying, okay, what should I have done? This is when the guardian the role is so important, because they can get in there, they can get their hands dirty and smack them upside the head, figuratively, not literally, and get them to hopefully gear themselves, I hope, gear themselves, we hope, gear the parents to beginning a healing process that will in the long run benefit the child. And that's why we're here, is to benefit the children and children of our community, or the child of our community. I would also urge the guardians, and this is something that I'm in litigation right now with, payment. Margie mentioned it. There is a guardian that is suing a litigant for their fees. That pains me to do that. And please make sure that when you request a guardian, or when there's a guardian appointed, that there are fees that are allocated for the guardian's service. No one, including my lawyers, should work for nothing. If it's a paid guardian, the guardian needs to get paid. If it's pro bono, no, of course. Low bono, absolutely. As my lawyers need to get paid, because having grown up with a very famous family lawyer, I understand the importance of that check. But one side story, which is really funny. I was given an interview when I had my TV show, and they said, well, your father was a divorce lawyer. What do you think about divorces? I said, I love divorces. I'm all for divorces. Divorces paid for my college, paid for my nice house, paid for campaigns. It's a nice way to make a living. And he laughed. He goes, oh, you're so funny, Judge David. But the point of that is guardians need to get paid. Lawyers need to get paid. So you need to talk to your clients, and they need to understand that they need, if they're so dysfunctional and they need a guardian, then they need to come up with the money to pay for it.
Thank you very much. I think getting paid is a wonderful thing for all of us. GM Nabbit Frankel, I saw you. I don't see you now, but I saw you before. From your world, tell us about, oh, there you are. Tell us about the GM's perspective in your division of the GAL.
I mean, my division loves them. I want to thank the lawyers that are on here that I hit up sometimes for low bono work, because there are some of them on here, and they do that as more frequently than they should probably, and it's very helpful. The only thing that I would add is, if you're going to be a guardian, please make a recommendation. I have people sometimes that go through all the steps and do all the interviews, but either their report or they can't testify as to what I should sort of do, which is a little frustrating, because they've spent all this money and I'm sort of back where I started. So that would be my only thing, is that if you're going to be a guardian, please understand that we need the recommendations. It doesn't mean we're going to follow it, but we need it and we like it to sort of steer us in the right direction sometimes. So if you don't think that you can come down on one side or the other, or explain, then I don't think you should necessarily take a case all the way through. So that's the only thing I've seen.
Thank you. That's a good perspective. How about GM Mendez-Locke? I see that she's on the call also and likes to contribute.
Hi, everybody.
There you are.
Hi. My contribution would be that if I could appoint a guardian ad litem on every single case with time sharing and kids, I would. Obviously,
you and Judge Bernstein have that in common.
I think Judge Bernstein and I have that in common. Unfortunately, our resources and litigant resources don't allow us to do that, but it is such a wonderful tool or aid or assistance for us in making these determinations. I have appointed many lawyers as guardian ad litems, but I'm going to also tell you I love appointing mental health personnel as guardian ad litems, especially in cases where we have possible abuse or alienation, or where the children are really suffering. The only concern that I have with that, and it really hasn't become an issue, just a possible concern, is that sometimes the mental health expert wants to act as a mental health expert and not as a guardian ad litem. And that's a fine line that sometimes they have to walk, and sometimes we can't let them walk as much as we would like to. And then you have to get other personnel involved in the case as well. But I've used guardian ad litems for relocation cases, and what a wonderful tool that has been for me. I've used guardian ad litems where one of the parents has had drug issues. What a wonderful tool that has been. And then lastly, I know that Judge Bernstein says, or I don't know if it was Judge Bernstein or Judge Young, said that they use a guardian ad litem to determine whether a child should testify. Sometimes what I've done is
Judge Bernstein did.
Okay, sometimes what I've done is I've determined that a child will not testify, but then sua sponte, I do the guardian ad litem. And that way I get the child's voice heard that way rather than directly through the child. So whether you ask for a guardian ad litem or not, if I'm not going to hear from the kid, I'll do it through the guardian ad litem.
Very good point.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge Bernstein.
We'll be addressing that at another town hall meeting, but we'll tell you about that a little later. Judge Kelly, I know that you're in the middle of police officers and break orders, but can you speak now? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, and I apologize. I wrote that I am in the middle of an emergency motion for a break order, but guardian ad litems are so fundamental in domestic violence court. Many of our cases are pro se litigants, and they're below or at the poverty line. So we really rely on the services of Day Legal Aid, and there's a CABA pro bono project specifically designed to provide GALs in our cases. You know, the thing I just want to share with everybody is we know there's cases where people allege domestic violence and it's not happening, but in many cases, domestic violence is happening. And the effect on the children involved in those cases is horrific. They are ruined for life. Their trauma level is at a level higher than those that are growing up in a war zone. Their telomeres, which are the ends of their DNA caps, are affected. They do not grow as well, and it affects children's entire systems of development, including their brain, their lungs, their skeletal system, their IQs. So it's serious business when we're talking about children that are involved in families affected by domestic violence. So we have a great partnership with a couple of organizations. We generally use pro bono in domestic violence, but we do have cases, honestly, where we need low bono and regular guardian ad litems. But what we hope is that people really take the time to be trained and take the additional education in domestic violence, in the cycles of violence, and in helping judges, as Judge Bernstein said, you know, be the investigator, because many of these families, they come and they offer so little evidence, they don't know what to say. And we're searching for the answers of what's in the best interest of these poor children, caught many times in not only domestic violence, but in so many other areas of kind of abuse in their lives. Whether it's they grow up poor, or there's other type of abuse going on in their homes, in addition to domestic violence. So that help is so fundamental. And I just want to thank, and I see many individuals that are on this Zoom hearing that have volunteered pro bono, even though I know that's not generally what you do. And I want to thank you all, those individuals here who have said, hey, Judge Kelly, I'll take a case. Thank you. And if you want to do work, please let us know. We need your help. We do have cases that definitely are paid, but we have more cases that are low bono or pro bono. But the difference that you make in these children's lives are so fundamental. And again, I mean, in these cases, I rarely, and I don't think many of my colleagues want the children to testify because they're already traumatized. And to bring them into court and to talk about mommy or daddy and what they saw, it's making them relive this horrible trauma and choosing sides and all the horrible things that go with that. So the guardian ad litems, I think, are even more important in cases with domestic violence rather than regular divorce or even high conflict. And I just want to thank you all for the work that you do, and please consider using your skill and expertise and call and say you'll help us, because there's so much room. We don't have enough guardian ad litems to help with all the cases we have. And I so apologize, but I am getting a call now from the police officer, and I want to thank you so much. I'm going to be back on for the celebration of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, so this is probably a good segue. Thank you, Judge Carlin, because those of you that have not served as guardian ad litem or don't know how the system works, every year an award is provided to a guardian ad litem who has done very significant work and provided wonderful service to the court in representing or providing recommendations on behalf of a child, which is something that is very important to know. So not only do you get the gratification and the thanks of the court and do a good deed for a family, but you may be up for an award. And it so just happens that we have more than one award recipient on this call. So I'm going to call on the two of them, if they don't mind, so that they'll give you a real short perspective of what it's like to be a GAL, especially for our incoming judges that you haven't dealt with this from the family side. So Diane, do you want to say a few words? You have to unmute yourself.
Diane Trainor muted is
There
amazing.
you are. There
Why,
she is.
thank you. This was such a surprise, and it is such an honor. I serve as a guardian ad litem on a number of cases. A lot of them are low bono or pro bono. A lot of them have one or no lawyers on either side. And I find that my role as a guardian ad litem, oftentimes I tell them, if by the end of the case both parents are mad at me, I've done my job, because they're not there needing a guardian ad litem because they can get along. It's because there's some real dysfunction typically going on. The most important part for me is making sure they understand that my job is just to investigate and make recommendations to the court. But sometimes my role is also being oversee and point out to them, you know, it'd be nice if you're a little nicer on our family wizard. I love cyber stalking my cases by reading what their communications are like, because you see another side of them, that when they're in court, they're all polite and they're good and it's great. And then we get out of court and sometimes we see that whole different dynamic going on.
Judge Bernstein said it.
And certainly I can share that with the court. As a guardian ad litem, one of the great tools we have is being able to ask the court for case management conferences, so that we can perhaps let the court know that there needs to be an evidentiary hearing or some kind of like redirection of the parties. But for me, the satisfaction I get out of this is knowing that I'm doing a good service for the children. You know, I just recently got flowers from a parent of a child that turned 18 that I worked on many years ago, and what an honor. I got a Facebook request from a little girl that was 5 years old and now she's in college. And to know that I have been able to assist that family, perhaps to give the judge the information they need to make the decisions that have helped these people get past the toxicity of court proceedings, because that's what it is. It is my honor to do that service for the court.
Thanks, Diana. It was an award well deserved, because you have done this for many, many years very well. But we have another recipient, Cindi Kamen. Cindi, unmute yourself and tell us a little bit.
Agree with everything that Diane said. I think the biggest problem I'm having lately.
Talk a little louder, Cindi, please.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Better, yes. I've never had trouble hearing you before.
Me either, Anna. Me either. No.
Again, I agreed with everything Diane said. The biggest problem I'm having recently, and it's on most of my cases, that lawyers think that our job is to do anything regarding the children. So I get calls all weekend, all week.
Now we can hear
you. To do things that have nothing to do with our role as guardian. And the lawyers are doing it. So I think it's very important that the lawyers know what our role is and not think that if they have any problem that they come to us. Now, I always try to help if I can, but I always tell them I don't make rulings. And sometimes, but I'm actually recently I'm finding it's occurring more and more and more. And then I end up explaining it in a letter. But I love what I do. It's very rewarding, but it's also very difficult. People are always angry at you. Like Diane said, at the end of the case, typically everyone's been mad at us. I just finished a case recently where the daughter called and texted me after the case to tell me that she'll never forget me, that I changed her life forever.
Oh.
So those moments are when I say, now I know why I'm doing this, because I'm helping the children. I think that's about it.
Cindi and Diane are often called upon because exactly that. They're doing it with their heart. And here's a third award recipient, Ellen Silvers, who does everything with her heart. And she has raised the most amazing child, whom I love very much. So she has lots of hands-on experience with children. Ellen, do you want to say something about the wonderful work you've done for children in this county?
So I agree with
how fabulous your daughter is.
I agree with how fabulous my daughter is. I also agree that there is nothing like a child knowing that they have someone to speak to, and being a guardian, if you could get a child to relax and talk to you, it is just a really amazing feeling. And you'd be surprised what comes out of their mouth if you just really talk about a million other subjects other than their parents, and they will just say, I mean, I had a 6-year-old that I'm a guardian of, and we can't go anywhere. So I met her at the Merrick Park, and we went to every window. I said, let's look at every single window and see if we could find the colors of the rainbow.
Aww.
So while you're looking at the colors of the rainbow and talking, all these other information comes out because they're just feeling free. And I think that people who want to be guardian ad litems, it is a wonderful job, but it is really a hard job because you really are responsible for being the eyes and ears of the court, and those little details make all the difference in the world. So if you take it on, know that it is exhausting, rewarding, and scary. The other thing, though, to add to Cindi is that a lot of people think that guardian ad litems should mediate the case or be a parenting coordinator. We really do have a narrow what we do, but a lot of information that goes with it. And so
that's what Judge Verdi, Judge Bernstein, et cetera, are on. Judge Verdi was very clear on that. So you've got the right
absolutely. And I'm with Judge Verdi too on that. It's but if you do your job and you're really thorough, it really is amazingly rewarding.
It is. And
thanks,
now
Anna.
You've heard, those are for Ashley, by the way.
Anna?
Yes,
just say one thing. We get as judges emergency motions, and most of them are not real emergency motions. However, when a guardian wants to put a case on calendar, we know, at least I know, that it's going to be on the first available date within 24 to 48 hours, because the only motivation that guardian has is the welfare of the child. And if something funky is going on, and I'm sure, and I know all my colleagues want to know about it as well. Also, something that Judge Kelly said about the children testifying. As a general rule, I'm not in favor of children testifying because I don't want more division with the parents. That's why, guardian, if you've never done this before, please do it, because you'll get such a great insight as to what the judges have to go through. And putting us in the situation of having a child testify against one of their parents, no, that's not the purpose of family court. It really isn't.
There are cases where there's evidentiary issues. And that happens a lot in domestic violence cases, where without the child testifying, there's no case. And I
And we're gonna
understand that
talk
some
about, Judge Verdi, I
lawyers
don't mean
say,
to, Judge Verdi, I don't mean to talk you off, but that's what we're gonna talk about in January.
oh, okay,
Children testifying, so please
Okay.
come in January, because we want to hear all about it.
okay.
Anna also, like, if people are guardians for the first time or second time and they want advice or have a question of where they should go, they can always call me 100%. I'm available to help all that I can because it is a slippery slope.
So can I jump on that for a second? I was going to say this, and I swear Ellen was not a plant. One of the things I love about the Inns of Court is the mentorship that's available through the Inns process. And I think that's so valuable for the younger lawyers and the people who have not been guardians to draw on all of the experience that these other guardians have had and the wisdom that they have to share. I have seen Diane Trainor working with other people because she thinks it's the right thing to do when it's their first or second guardian case. I know Cindi has done it as well, and I know Ellen has done it as well. These people are thrilled to share with you all, so please draw on their wisdom. They're superb at what they do, and everybody can benefit from it.
Can I just say one thing? I mean, Judge Bernstein said it all, and he said it perfectly. I was going to suggest to Amber that maybe she can send out a list with Karen. Karen will give her the list of all the past winners. Send them all out to all the members of the Inn so they know who they can call for experience. And oh, by the way, Anna Martin-Lavielle was also a winner. She's so modest, but that's why she's doing this project with Judge Bernstein. She's always giving back.
And this year's winner has not been announced yet. And I think at the Dade County Bar, they're going to, when next time we're together for a view from the bench, I think that's when the winner for 2020 will be announced.
Correct.
Oh, there's still time.
No, we already voted on it. And it was a,
Oh, well, you can get started for next year.
exactly right.
Right.
Yes, I can tell you because I know the three lovely ladies, Diane, Ellen, and Cindi well, worked with them on numerous different things, that they are very giving individuals. And it is really such a pleasure when you've gained this experience, because the four of us have been doing this for a little while, that we can share with those that are doing it for the first time so that it becomes easier. We've done it so often that we've developed certain things, and sometimes it's just being creative and just giving you a few ideas, like what Ellen just mentioned about window shopping for the rainbow. Those are little things that we have learned along the way, and if you tell us a little bit, we're happy to share, because nobody that really puts their heart into being a guardian at Litem isn't willing to help you help other children, because that's why we're all doing it. And I think that's why it's the toughest job that you ever do. It will make you lose more sleep than your real clients, right, Ellen? Right, Cindi?
Oh,
Right,
for
Diane? Because you're always thinking, how do I protect this child? But it is the best job that you will have in family court. All right, I know I did not call on every judge or on every GM, and I apologize, but two things of why I have to stop. One, our Madam President wants to keep this on time, and I only have a minute left. But more importantly than that, much, much more importantly than that, there's something very special we're going to do. So Judge Bernstein, Jerry Kornreich, and I have been plotting, and since this is Thanksgiving, we really, really, from the bottom of our hearts, want to thank Judge Bernstein and Judge Soto, who have worked together, and Judge Soto has followed the advice and the recommendations of Judge Bernstein to make sure that our family court moved forward quickly, expeditiously. We want to thank all of the judges and all of the GMs, because we as a bar, thank you, because we know it took a great deal. Not everyone on this call, it's Judge Krieger, who was like this on technology. So all of the judges had to really pivot, learned a lot of ththings, and figure out how to do it. We thank Judge Ruiz Cohen, who put on this seminar with several of the members of the Inn so that we could learn how to do discovery and exhibits online and present it. So thank you very much, because that was a very essential, very early on program. But the bench has really been terrific, and the bar really appreciates it, because we didn't have to tell our clients, well, you know you don't have any support? Wait till 2021 when we don't have, when we have a COVID vaccine, then maybe you'll be heard. No, you guys did it, and it made our lives a lot easier. To the individuals in this that are members of the Inn, thank you, because you come during this period of time. We have been fortunate enough to have so many of the judges and the GMs join us. We really want you all to know that we really appreciate you coming, because we know you're up to here with Zoom at the end of the day, and you still come, get on Zoom and give us great advice, so that the working relationship that the Inn was intended to be and do remains intact. And what Judge Bernstein talked about, the mentoring, comes from all of us being here and doing our roles. Steve Spann, who does those great notes, thank you very much. So I've said thank you. Oh, the board of the Inn, who's always working, and the special committees are doing a great job. But the real reason that this ending is very special is, and after Judge Bernstein speaks, I'd like you to hold up your virtual or your real glass, because the person on this call, on every call, and throughout this entire year, that has been the biggest unsung hero, but she has sung everybody's praises, has made sure that with the kindest of heart that she has, with her thoughtfulness, her thoroughness, her ingenuity and creativity, has made it possible for us to actually be here this month, every prior month, and every month to come, is Amber Coinwright. So Judge Bernstein and I and Jerry have plotted against you, and this is why other times we've had to kick you off our calls. We want to recognize you, because you are beyond fabulous. You have done an amazing role. And I will tell you, having have known both Judge Feeder and Kuttner, who were the founding fathers of the Inn and had great hopes, expectations, and respect for the Inns and its members, that you have made both of them proud, and they're both cheering you on from the wonderful place that they are both now at. Not to mention your mother, whom I've known since law school, who was a great champion for women, for domestic violence, and was also very creative. So I think Judge Bernstein has a lot more to say, and he's very happy and proud to be able to say it. So I have to shut up so he can speak, because he wants his turn.
No, it's not that. I just think it's important that we acknowledge and recognize and thank a truly visionary leader. And Amber is a visionary leader. Imagine what would have happened to the Inns of Court without her. The world turned upside down, and she figured out a way to not only keep the Inns going, but to make it even more relevant, even more necessary, even more essential. I think from day one, we've had huge attendance at these Zoom meetings of the Inns. And although the social aspect is fun, and we all enjoy it at the beginning of our meetings, it's because the work of the Inns, the learning, the mentorship, the education has continued, because Amber figured out a way to get it done. And Amber motivated everybody to keep it going. She had to figure out a whole new way to do everything that we always did on a moment's notice. And that's an incredible, incredible skill. So Amber, I am so grateful to you for all that you have done for the Inns of Court and for the Family Law Bar. You are truly a visionary, and I cannot say enough, sing your praises enough, or thank you enough for all that you've done.
Thank you, Anna, Judge Bernstein, everyone, for the beautiful words. I really appreciate it. Thank
Hold
you.
on, because we wanted to make this more than just about words, and your father was right on, because he knows that you are the best of both of them, because you have gotten all the fabulous attributes. Ellen's shaking her head because we all loved your mother. You've gotten the giving back that your father does, his wisdom in the law, and all of your mother's creativity rolled up into one. So you have really become the best of both. So since we've all clapped, We've all raised our glass. We want you to have something while you are incubating in your home you will receive tomorrow. But I think that everybody here would like to see what we have done. Victor is working, and therefore we couldn't get it to you in a discreet way without you finding out. So this was the way we had to give it to you until your father carries it to you tomorrow. If I step back enough, maybe you'll see it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Wow.
It is well deserved, and it is
stunning.
Our honor and privilege and pleasure to give it to you because of all you have done for us. This is a very small token of our very large appreciation to you. It's really heavy, Jerry. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Judge Bernstein, for another great town hall. Thanks to all of the judges, the GMs, and all of the members of the Inn. We welcome our new incoming judges. We look forward to seeing you at the great party that Francia told us about next month. We have another Inn event this month that Amber is going to tell you about. And happy Thanksgiving. Everyone stay safe and well. Amber, now it's your turn.
Thank you so much to everyone who came tonight, and all of our past presents are here, all of our judges, general magistrates, members. I'm so honored and moved. I'm so surprised. Thank you. Speechless. Thank you all for being the lifeblood of the Inn.
So we'll see you all next month. But we'll see you this month because we have one more this month. What we're doing? Yes.
Next Tuesday, we'll do our team meetings. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you to
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Have a wonderful
Congratulations.
Come back.
Thanks to Amber.
Thank you, Amber. You're fabulous.
Congrats, Amber.
Congrats, Amber.
Thank
Bye.
you,
everybody.
everyone. Congratulations,
you.
Amber.
Thank you, everyone.
Karen, I got a question for you before
Sure.
you go. Let me get the name. Is your family having a bar mitzvah next year at Betham?
In a couple of weeks at Betham in COVID. Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
You're all invited virtually.
Well, I just wanted to make sure because, I'm treasurer of the synagogue and we have to have somebody.
Give us lots of money.
I'll give you a lot of love because I'm going to do the announcements that day just
For
for you and your
Ethan,
family.
for Mason Josephsburg, Thanksgiving weekend on Saturday. I just got the virtual invitation. I made the cut of the 27 relatives.
Excellent. Well, I will be in the synagogue there. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be there. I hope my parents can make it, and that the grandparents can all make it. We haven't been together in 8 months, so it'll be great to see you, and hopefully everybody else that makes the cut.
I got to tell you, we are COVID preparation intensive at Betham, and every seat, every nook and cranny is cleaned before you guys will come in, and when you guys leave, we do a massive cleaning as well. And the clergy.
David,
Yes.
what about the gray hair? What's this? We don't go gray in Miami.
Sandy, I agree, but my husband likes it, and that's who I'm trying to please.
All right,
Then go gray then.
Go gray, I say.
I've colored it before, and he goes, no, I like it. So okay.
Here's the invitation. They saved a lot of money. And don't worry, we'll stay after and clean up because his brothers need more community service.
Look forward to sharing in the mitzvah.
So excited to see you then. I'm excited to see anybody anytime.
Jerry, I always like that artwork behind you on the dots. Tell me about the dots. You're on mute.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me unmute you.
Can you unmute him? No.
Hold on. Ask to unmute. Is something popping up that says unmute?
It should.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah.
So you know what happened is about 30 years ago, I saw this piece of art, and every time I look at it, I think of when I was young and you had a thing of dots, one of the boxes,
Okay.
and how they come spilling out. They come spilling out of the box with all the colors. So it always is Age of Innocence. It's nice.
My mother loved dots.
Okay,
There
okay.
you
I
have it.
just love it. I love it.
Congratulations, Amber. I'm leaving.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, Amber, you're a star. Everybody's voted you president for life.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely true.
We can't have you do anything else.
President
Don't
of
tell
Legal
Terry
Aid,
that.
too, Amber.
He won't be
Maybe
happy.
you could be president of the Florida Bar. Think about that.
Big
Absolutely.
bar, we'll take her. Let's keep her local for a while.
All right.
A
All
little
right.
bit longer, but I think that Sandy and Edith have plans for her.
Yeah.
Heard them
Gotta
colluding.
go. Gotta go.
I'm
All
really,
right, Scott. Thank you, Scott.
thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you always for being
Great
here.
to see everyone.
Yeah.
Judge Carly, great to see you.
Judge
And
Carly,
again,
if you
thank you,
don't-
Karen, for all of your hard work.
Yes,
Thank
thank
Yeah,
you.
we're here for you.
Good job,
Always, I
everyone.
know.
24/7.
I know.
You
What
know,
we
Judge
do.
Carlin, you have to come on because until you